Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of Kili Vierra Podcast. My name is Kili Vierra, coming to you live from my humble abode in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, Hawaii. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening wherever you are in the world. If you're a dad out there trying to make it, if you're a millennial trying to figure out some multiple streams of income, if you're an individual trying to just find the positives in life, thanks for tuning in. Tonight, I just wanted to talk about striking out, and been under the weather recently, kind of getting better in some ways, but still not 100%. I feel like I've been slacking a lot within these last 3 days. Haven't been posting too much on my social media. I'm not too sure why exactly. I mean, I could be posting more, but I just haven't been feeling it. Haven't been up to it. I don't know, it's just physically, I just don't feel well. I feel lazier than normal. And I think when you're facing like a huge challenge every time, even when you are 100%, I mean, it's tough. But having that extra physical setback is extra cherry on top there. And I really don't want to use that as an excuse. I hate to use that as an excuse. But you know what? I'm just gonna take it. As it is. I'm not producing right now, and that's kind of my subject matter today, my topic that I want to chat about. And if you have been listening to my podcast, I really try to talk about positivity, staying positive, trying to look for the positives within the negatives. And the most recent podcast about who you were isn't who you are, I kind of take a little bit from that and want to continue on in this episode. And I mentioned a dream that I had about baseball and about failure, fear of failing. And if you haven't watched that episode, check it out. But failing is a big part of life. It's unfortunate that it happens, and I'm learning how to deal with failure. I'm learning how to deal with setbacks and pullbacks, and not being 100% all the time. Those days when you are 100%, you feel good, you feel like you're moving forward in huge steps. And then those days where you're not 100%, it's like total backpedaling, and that feeling of not being adequate or efficient. And I want to talk about baseball a little bit. I mean, that was a big part of my life before. It's not who I am now, but I take a lot of lessons from what I've learned from baseball. And one crazy stat, one mind-blowing statistic that I want to bring up is to be a good hitter. Hitting is what makes baseball. Hitting the ball with a wooden stick is basically what makes baseball. I mean, there's cricket and stuff, and I'm not too familiar with that. But what I am familiar with is that hand-eye coordination is one of the hardest things a part of baseball. And to be a good hitter, you can fail most of the time. For example, Babe Ruth, on average, was a 342 average hitter, he got one hit out of almost 3 at-bats. So he went up to the plate 3 times and he got at least 1 hit. And that's crazy to think that you can show up 3 times, and majority of those times you're gonna fail. 2 failures, 1 hit, and you're a great hitter. And that's crazy to think. That's crazy to think that you can fail majority of the time and you can still be recognized as a Hall of Fame legend like Babe Ruth. So his average was 342. So he was hitting just under, just above just below 3 at bats, like 1 hit every 2.9 at bats. And in his career, he went to the plate 8,399 times. And out of those 8,399 times he showed up to the plate, he only got 2,873 hits, singles. I'm not counting the extra base hits. But out of those 8,400 appearances, he only got a little under 3,000. And that's like less than a third, I'd say, of his showing up. That's crazy. I'm on baseballreference.com. If you're not familiar with baseballreference.com, it is a website that tracks statistics from professional baseball players from before and current. And that's what it's saying. And out of those 8,399 times, he struck out 1,330 times. He struck out over 1,000 times. That's crazy. I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm not saying that's, a reason for us to not show up, because the fear of failure is that strong. Like, you're so afraid to strike out that you're not even going to go to the plate to see what's going to happen next. And I think that's something to remember whenever you're trying to learn something new. I think it's something to remember when you're trying to shoot for a goal of yours. Just to remember that. Just keep showing up no matter what. I mean, I'm not too sure how you're going about your plate appearances. I'm not sure how you're going about showing up every day. But I want to try to be consistent in something. These podcasts have been definitely keeping me at it, keeping me somewhat consistent in just sharing some thoughts, sharing some little tidbits of value. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, that you're gonna fail a lot. I'm still failing, and I know I'm gonna fail some more. Not that I'm hoping to fail, not that I'm like looking for an excuse, or something along those lines, but you just can't be afraid to fail. I've been afraid to fail. I'm still afraid to fail. But I think just showing up and trying is the point. I think we all gotta start somewhere. And if it takes failure to learn, then that's what it takes. But striving for the best, hoping for the best. I'm not gonna be deterred by words, by opinions of others, by my negative thoughts, because I have them. I'm human. By my negative feelings. I'm sore. I'm tired. I have a headache, runny nose, the rain, the elements, the weather. I'm trying not to let that get to me, but it does affect me in some percentage. I'm just gonna try to keep showing up, y'all. Keep showing up. Stay tuned for more. Hope you all have a great evening, a great weekend ahead of you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Shoot.